Hi guys, I'm Mr. GT. Good afternoon and welcome to the channel. And there's my car in the garage and we are going off to Wollongong in the Mustang today. We've got our sister's Lexus and George in the Mustang, and we'll be jumping in that to go for a nice cruise down to Wollongong. So there's been a change of plans. We are not going to Wollongong. We have just had a look at the weather report and it is pouring buckets down there, so we will be going to Brighton instead. Now we're talking Brighton, Sydney, not England. So just not to confuse the two. So we're in this immaculate Mustang. This car's only done 10,000 kilometres. The motor hasn't even run in yet. Motors are technically running at 30,000 kilometres. Yes, you are asking, well, what's the 1,000 that we usually do? The 1,000 kilometres, well, that is to break in the engine. But to properly run an engine in, even though you don't have to drive it softly, it takes about 30,000 kilometres. It was a pretty loud motorbike. So this one's in the beautiful colour of grey. Yes, we are starting to get speed humps on main roads in this country. We've had speed humps in a lot of the back streets, but they're starting to appear on main roads as well. So we're in for a bit of a bumpy ride when we go over them. I just wonder how ambulances do it when they've got somebody like with a severe injury where any movement could maybe even kill them. So yeah, I'm not too fond of those speed humps, but it is what it is. A lot of most cars in Australia need suspension repairs very often, maybe even once a year, some even 6 months. They are very harsh on suspension, ball joints, control arms, bushes, springs, shocks, the lot. Some of them you have to go really slow over them, even though it does say 25 kilometres, because the exhaust scrapes, especially on those ones there. They're small, so once you've gone over it, the back wheels are still not on it and the front wheels have gone over it, so the middle of the car, the belly, is very close or actually on the speed hump. So if you lower your car, you may need an exhaust, a brand new exhaust, and then raise the car so you don't cop it again. But that's another story for now. What do you reckon, George? Do you like speed humps?
I hate them.
I think the only people that have fun in them are the people that drive SUVs. They probably hope that there's speed humps so that they can have a bit of fun with their cars, especially the ones that don't go out in the country and go over mountains and rocks and surfaces that are uneven. So they'd be having a bit of fun over the humps. They can just keep going over them at 50 kilometres an hour or 60, whatever the speed limit is. I don't think they'd be complaining. So we've got the beautiful burble of the V8. I just can't get enough of that sound. Best sound ever. V8s. When you've got sound like that, you don't even need to use the radio. Just listen to that music coming out of the exhaust and the engine. So my friend George here is a detailer, George's Prestige. I'll put a link on the bottom for anybody that wants to come and get their car done. He's the best in the business and has been one of the longest. He's been doing it for, what, about 30 years?
Close to it, yeah.
Close to 30 years, yeah. So we had my AMG done there, as you saw in the previous video, with the Ethos graphene.
Unbelievable.
One of the few aeroplanes leaving the country. Looks like it's Emirates, I think. Don't get too many flights leaving these days with this coronavirus, COVID-19. Even I had plans on going to Greece. I'd booked from last year in September, and we had to cancel it. Carries the wheels, pretty busy. He's cafe'd the wheels, correction there. So we're now passing Cook's River. Captain Cook sailed through here when he first found Australia back in 1770. And named it after him, so it's his river. Sound on acceleration. Now this thing does hammer. It goes very, very well. It's got a lot of torque. Pulls you back in the seat. Keeps you there. And not only that, it just breaks traction. so easy, even though these things do have the ESP. They still break traction until the ESP forces the engine to cut power so that the wheels can get the traction on the ground. And there's one of my co-workers there on the Murray's coach. So today was supposed to be sunny. I don't think it's going to rain. However, the sky is full of clouds. It's covered in clouds. But there are a lot of people out, as you can see the traffic as we approach Brighton. Kia GT. As you can see, the beach, that's actually Botany Bay. So Captain Cook sailed through those heads and then went into Cook's River. This thing doesn't like the traffic, it wants to just get up and go. All the horses under the bonnet are getting impatient. They want to get out and run. So we're in Brighton now. So down there where the cranes are is where the airport is. But as you can see, it's pretty empty. There's not any planes taking off or flying in. It's usually one plane after the other coming in, another one's taken off. shout out to Harry H in Greece. Likes watching these videos, as he used to live in Australia, and these drives bring him memories, and he can also see the changes that are happening in the country, new buildings going up. It's mainly high-rise apartments that go up these days. But yeah, I must say, when I was living in Greece and came back to Australia 20 years after, there were whole suburbs that I couldn't even recognise. All my landmarks had disappeared. There's been a lot of development in this country in the last 20 years. Down south, and we're heading south, but I wouldn't actually be surprised if the clouds do come by the afternoon and we may get a shower or something, or maybe a thunderstorm like back in the day when there'd be a warm day and then the southerly would come in and we'd get thunderstorm. It doesn't happen as often as it used to. So this is Dole's Point, and where you see all these cars now, in this great big car park, back in the 90s, this place used to be packed full of muscle cars, supercars, all performance cars. Every Sunday around 2:30, 3 o'clock, everybody would drive their cars and park them in here, and they'd hang around till about 5 o'clock checking each other's cars. Others would have some food, maybe a pizza, music pumping from all the boom boxes everywhere. But that's all stopped now. The council has closed it down, so that doesn't happen anymore. Here having a picnic. What I had, the XA, but in two-door, was a coupe. Same colour. it's called red pepper. Lots of people out and about. We're actually lucky we're not living in Melbourne at the moment. They're in lockdown, but they're allowed out in the day, but I think by 7, is it 7 or 8? They have to be inside their houses, nobody is allowed out. But they've got lots of cases every day. In Sydney we have, I think it's about between 5 and 10 a day, so it's dropped a lot here. Yes, it's gone. So there was another club that used to come and party over here, and it's gone. St George Rowers Sailing Club, I think it was called St George, yeah. Horsepower Addiction likes to give their viewers scenes from Australia. So you get to see what Australia's like through our videos. We only do the videos when we're in performance cars. No standard cars. Oh, and buses. Buses allowed, and even aeroplanes. Like I've said before, we drive everything on this channel. XA Ford might still be there. We'll get a look at it from the back. got a GLE C63, 63S, AMG in front of us. There's a lot of traffic going back the other way. Now I am, but maybe give it one little more, yeah. Give it. Do it on the way back. I'll be filming. We get to see what this thing sounds like under the tunnel. Get up and go. Wanted to fly over the truck.
The FedEx.
Yeah, FedEx number plate.
It's the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, they're real fast, the gearbox changes in the newer cars now. Split second changes.
I've never seen that before.
back in the day, in that street to our right, when things weren't as strict, as they are now, lots of people used to take their cars there and have drag races. Here because all the containers come in, containers from overseas, containers leaving to go overseas as well, trucks coming to load or unload at the port. That's why it's called Port Botany. We are heading to Perouse. There's a WRX next to us, a Rexy. I had one of those in Greece, but I had the GC8 model, the year 2000 was the last of the first shape, and there's a nice Capri as we speak.
V6.
It is a V6, yes. So yes, I had a blue one, GC8 in Greece, and so after I had my XA, I ended up buying a Group A SS Holden Commodore Walkinshaw. There was only 700 of them built, 750 actually. They built 500 initially, and then they built another 250. And I had number 070, number 70 of 750. And then I sold that when I moved to Greece, ended up buying the WRX, and then when I moved back here again, I bought the AMG, the E55 that you've seen. So that's been my history of cars. It's only been 5 really, isn't it? The XA, the Walkinshaw, the WRX, and the AMG. Yeah, that's it, eh? It's actually 4 cars, not 5.
Yes,
no, it is 5 cars because I also had an XD Falcon. While I owned the Walkinshaw, my XD was my runaround car, and the Walkinshaw was
Kia.
the
Kia, yeah.
Oh yeah, correct. So I had 6 cars because I had also the XD, which was my runaround car, so that I don't drive the Walkinshaw every day. That was a weekend car. And in Greece I had a Kia Shuma, and that was my runaround car to keep the WRX immaculate. WRX ended up blowing a motor, so I ended up selling it without an engine. They do have a problem with the oiling system, those WRXs, and they all mainly spin bearings, so that's what happened to mine. I spun a bearing, and I thought I'll let it go because after 150,000 k's it'll probably happen again. So we'll have to wait and see what I'm going to buy when I go back to Greece. Hopefully they'll get rid of one of the laws they have in Greece with cars, and it makes it difficult for you to have a car with a big engine, because what happens over there is there's a tax system where, let's say for example you own a 5 litre V8, you have to be earning about 130,000 euros. So let's say you own a 5 litre car, but you only made 40,000 euros. There were no other cars actually back in those days, like on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, that was pretty dangerous what he did. nog alles heel positief.
I'm slowing down now.
There's another Muzzy on the right.
Can't do nothing.
Which you...
Yeah.
That sounded awesome under there. And it pushed me back into my seat and held me there till you let go of the accelerator. They get up and go, these things, don't they?
Get up and boogie. Just get the boots.
So we have arrived at McDonald's for some tucker, and that'll be for today. Everybody, have a very good afternoon, and we'll see you again. Pound that subscribe button, pound it.